With Treyarch set to release Call of Duty Black Ops 6, along with it comes Black Ops 6 Zombies. With it being nearly 4 years now since Cold War Zombies was released, which was Treyarch's main official Zombies game, they've had a lot of time to make this Zombies mode, probably the most in Call of Duty Zombies history, so Treyarch have got high expectations. Yes, they did release Modern Warfare Zombies, and they also released Vanguard Zombies, both of which were pretty terrible, but I'm hoping the reason they were terrible is because they were focusing mainly on Black Ops 6 Zombies. So in today's video, we're going to put Treyarch to the test and let's see if they add all these features, as today's video is going to be about what Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies must have. The first and, well, the most important feature that Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombie needs is fun gameplay. Fun gameplay is quite a broad statement, it doesn't really go into depth of what I'm talking about. But what I mean by fun gameplay is just making the zombies experience as fun and as interesting as possible. Black Ops 6 Zombies needs this fun gameplay in order to succeed, because I found myself in the past in some Treyarch games where some of the maps I've just not wanted to play. Like, some of them have been very bland and boring, and the gameplay's just been lackluster as a result, whether it's the weaponry, the setting of the map, how the map functions, etc, etc. So Black Ops 6 needs to look at its past Zombies experiences, look at what worked well and what didn't work so well, and ensure that they don't make the same mistakes, particularly on the maps that didn't go well. What makes a Zombies map fun, you might ask? Well, this is going to lead on to my next set of points. So first of all, maps should feel like Zombies maps. Cold War had a massive issue with this. There was a couple of maps in particular, such as Firebase Z and Forsaken, for example, where they were just more facility maps. They didn't feel original, they didn't feel zombie-like at all. They were just ripped from the campaign or multiplayer maps, and that's not just Forsaken and Firebase Z. That goes for all the Cold War Zombies maps. They didn't feel atmospheric enough. If you go back to even World at War, zombie maps like Verrucht and Nacht had this tense and eerie atmosphere about it, where you felt like you were in danger and you felt like the zombies were out to get you. But in Cold War Zombies, it didn't feel like that. There was no tension in the maps whatsoever, and this needs to come back to Call of Duty Zombies in order for the maps to feel good to play and stand out. Up next, we have interesting characters and an interesting storyline. Cold War, unfortunately, once again suffered with a lack of interesting characters and a lack of a interesting storyline, in my opinion. The storyline for Cold War was the Dark Ether, and it's set after the Ether storyline, which was an epic storyline in comparison. The Dark Ether, however, just feels very lackluster and doesn't have much meaning to it, in my opinion. Like, I'm not interested in the Dark Ether storyline. It doesn't feel engaging enough. There's not enough character development in it. I mean, you've got the people speaking over the intercoms, like Weaver, for example, but they're not true Zombies characters. However, in Black Ops 6, we have got a main crew of characters, which is excellent to hear and it's excellent to see. But these are characters we've already seen in Cold War, so it's going to be interesting to see how Treyarch make them more interesting and develop them throughout the Dark Ether storyline. Because if you haven't got good characters, you haven't got a good storyline. It's simple as that. Because at the moment, the Dark Ether storyline just sounds very generic. And there's not really much to it, in my opinion, and it's a lot of it's thrown in your face, which makes you less interested in it. When you're playing Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, the Easter eggs are very subtle and you don't really know what's going on, and people to this day don't truly understand the zombie storyline. With the Dark Ether, you're given it on a plate, really, and this makes the storyline just feel a lot less engaging and interesting. It doesn't suit Call of Duty Zombies, if that makes sense, where you just tell the story as it is straight away, because it's just no suspense and surprise to it. And a lot of it's predictable anyway, and it's a real shame. Whether it's in the Ether storyline, you don't know what's really going on, you don't know which timeline is which. Yes, this is complex, but it also has a lot more intriguing discussion, and it makes for great YouTube content, to be honest, from people like Mr. Waffles, who will diagnose particular zombies maps and try and then we can have open discussions about it. With Cold War, it's just like, this happens, then that happens. Nothing else interesting. And yes, you've got the intel on the radios, but they don't even add that much. They're just more things we already knew, and it's just a pain in the bum, to be honest. So I'm hoping Black Ops 6 has a storyline, that's both engaging, involved, and also mysterious at the same time. And I feel like that's what we need back in Black Ops 6 Zombies. So up next, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies must support both casual and hardcore players. I felt in the past Treyarch have had a very mixed bag with this. For example, I thought Call of Duty World at War, Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and a lot of Black Ops 2 to an extent just catered to more hardcore players. You had to be pretty good at the Zombies mode to enjoy a lot of it. Casual players were left in the dark. Then Black Ops 3 came along and had a pretty good balance because casual players could jump into most of the Zombies maps, but not all of the Zombies maps, without feeling intimidated because you had a lot more accessibility options in the Zombies maps with gobblegums and more perk variety, etc. This is where I thought Treyarch hit the nail on the head with Call of Duty Black Ops 3, because Call of Duty Black Ops 3 was, well, a very, very good game in my opinion. There's a reason it succeeded, particularly with the Zombies mode. Both hardcore and casual fans alike could have fun with it. There were some maps available for the casual audience, and there were some maps available for more the hardcore audience. But the thing is, casual and hardcore players can enjoy both of those types of experiences through the way the maps flowed and how the features worked. For example, the gobblegums made some of the maps really, really easy that would have been really hard otherwise. You've then got some maps of really in-depth side quest content for hardcore players to try who want to get more involved in the story or get to higher rounds, but they have to work for it. So there was a lot more balance in that aspect. Then Black Ops 4 Zombies comes along and kind of ruins this, unfortunately. The maps were a lot more complicated than they should have been, where a lot of the casual audience in particular were overwhelmed with too much information in the game, too many things going on, and it was a real shame really. Yes, you had the specialist weapons, but overall this made the map feel very lacklustre even for the hardcore players, because to get a specialist weapon, for example, you had to do a bit of a quest, but for this time around you just got given the weapon there then and then, and in order to use it you just needed to kill a few zombies. But the casual players were left out in the sense of the Easter eggs were far too complicated, even the hardcore players found it hard, and they just did too much with the game. Then Cold War Zombies comes along and makes the experience really casual, where you can start with any weapon you want, everything's really easy to kill from the get-go, you can survive in the first room without any stress, everything's just really simple to do, even the Easter eggs really easy. But then this leaves the hardcore players in the dark who are asking for more and want more in-depth or more of a challenge. So the problem is, at the moment, Black Ops 6 is facing a situation where it could either tailor towards the hardcore or the casual audience. But personally for me, they need to put it somewhere in the middle, because if they just keep catering to one audience or the other, one of those audiences is going to go to Warzone or to multiplayer, and you want as many people playing the Call of Duty Zombies mode as possible in order for it to survive and thrive. Speaking of surviving and thriving, we need better Easter egg quests in Black Ops 6 Zombies, because in Cold War they did not do a good job of this in my opinion. Yes, there were some good moments, I guess, with some of the boss fights, but in the grand scheme of things, a lot of the Easter eggs were very simple, very easy, and it didn't take much to do them, which made them feel less rewarding overall at the end. And they were very easy to find as well, because when it was the Black Ops 3 days or even the Black Ops 2 days, everyone would go out hunting for the Easter egg, and there'd be lots of discussion and debate on what some of the steps were. In Cold War Zombies, they might as well have held your hand, because all the Easter egg steps were very easy to find, you didn't have to think about it very much, and it just made the zombie maps feel really shallow. And also with these Easter eggs, they need to come along with obviously a good zombie storyline as well, which is what we discussed before. If the zombie storyline isn't good in Black Ops 6 and along with the Easter eggs, then we've got a huge problem, because no one's going to want to do the Easter egg if they know that the zombie storyline that goes with it is going to be hot garbage. So we need to ensure that that doesn't happen. Up next, I'm going to bring up the zombies perks themselves. So, to be honest with you, I actually think the perk system in Cold War was pretty good, where you could upgrade your perks. But I think it should be more in-game that you upgrade them rather than using the crystal system. Because once you've used all the crystals, you've got the most overpowered perks of all time. I think there should be an element of progression within the game where you have to earn the next tier of stamina, but you have to earn the next tier of juggernaut within that game. So you don't just start overpowered all the time. Otherwise, zombies games are going to be repetitive and not the best in my opinion. Also in Cold War, once you upgraded those perks, you couldn't unupgrade them and make it a bit more difficult for yourself. You were stuck with those upgrades for the rest of time, unless you reset your whole account, which is not what most people want to be doing. So there should be an element of freedom in that aspect through progressing within the game. Also, just one thing from Treyarch, please, I'm not sure if this is confirmed yet, but please bring Double Tap 2.0 back. It's not been in the game since Black Ops 3, and that perk, and believe me, that perk alone will bring lots of fans back just because of how iconic it is and how amazing it is to use. It made you feel so much more powerful and so much more intimidating. Up next is a big one, probably controversial in a way because some people have different opinions on it, but that is, please do not nerf any of the zombies' weapons. There's no point. Now hear me out on this. Zombies is a PvE mode, which is player versus the environment. So I don't think it matters too much whether it's easy to kill zombies with certain weapons or not. Yes, it might cause issues in the sense of people might be using the same loadouts all the time, but if people want to have fun and use those loadouts, Treyarch should be happy for that to happen. I mean, at the end of the day, as long as people are enjoying the Call of Duty Zombies experience, whether weapons are powerful or not, then just let them. If there's a shotgun that's super overpowered, let it be super overpowered. We don't need all these nerfs and stuff. It doesn't make it fun. It makes it annoying, if anything. I mean, I get disappointed when they nerf a shotgun or nerf a sniper rifle for being too powerful because I think, damn, I can't use that strategy anymore. Oh, I can't get to that round I wanted to get to anymore because of nerf this weapon. Just let people have fun in the game. We're not against people in Warzone. We're not playing competitive multiplayer. We're in a zombies game to have a good time. And last but not least, I'm going to discuss the salvage system and the armor system. Personally, I think what they need to do with this is reduce the amount of salvage or increase the salvage frequency in Black Ops 6 Zombies. Because I found it very difficult. It takes a long time to get like a legendary tier weapon, or to get the armor, or to get the particular support streak that you want. And these features are going to come back, so this is why I'm discussing them. The problem with it is, it's just too much. It takes far too long for the average player, and it's very mundane and boring. And I often didn't find myself using a lot of the kill streaks, for example, in Call of Duty Cold War Zombies, because it simply took far too long to get the salvage. And it was quicker for me to get a ray gun out of the box and upgrade it to tier 3 Pack-a-Punch. It was, and it's really disappointing. I think what would be good to make this system better is integrating the new Gobblegum system that they've got in place. So I know the Gobblegum system's not new as such, I don't know why I said that to be fair. But in Black Ops Cold War, obviously the mechanics were different, and these mechanics are coming back to Black Ops 6. And it'd be nice to see whether the Gobblegums are integrated into the salvage system. I think if they do that to make it a bit quicker for players and a bit more accessible for players, it will be a lot more interesting and engaging for the zombies experience. Anyway, that is actually it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about what I've just discussed. Feel free to leave your own opinions about Black Ops 6 Zombies in the comments below. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and also put the notifications on so you hear about my future uploads. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.